Hello guys, welcome to UPSC exam notes. Since preliminary examination is 158 days away, so we're conducting a program. We will brush up your general studies important topics on a daily basis. Please subscribe to our channel so that we'll have a revision on important topics. Today our topic is fundamental rights, which is in general studies 2 polity subject. So fundamental rights are cornerstone of Indian Constitution. Why do they call fundamental rights? Because they're basics. For any human being to live in a state, there has to be certain rights to uphold. There has to be certain rights for them to live and continue their living, to make their living in any society or a state. They should have certain rights. So since they are very basic, they are called fundamental rights. So these fundamental rights are in part 3 of Indian Constitution. Okay. So these fundamental rights are from Article 12 to 35 of Indian Constitution. The fundamental rights are comprised in these articles, and these articles are often called as Magna Carta of Constitution of India or Magna Carta of India. Okay, so let's discuss what are the fundamental rights in this video. So there are 6 fundamental rights. Okay, the first one is right to equality, and the second one is right to freedoms. In the right to freedoms, there is an Article 19, which is a very important article. We will discuss that in the later part of this video. Third right is right against exploitation. The fourth one is right to have freedom of religion. Fifth one is culture and educational rights. The sixth one is right against constitutional remedies. And Article 32, which promises constitutional remedies to all the citizens, is favorite article for Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who is an architect of Indian Constitution. Because Article 32 actually gives you the constitutional remedy through the writs. They can file writs in the courts in order to uphold your fundamental rights. Article 19 guarantees you certain freedoms. Those freedoms are freedom of expression, which is very, very fundamental for all the living beings, and freedom of possession, freedom of movement, freedom of association, freedom of assembly. So remember, these freedoms are not absolute freedoms. They are subject to reasonable restrictions according to the sovereignty and public order and certain conditions when occurs. Article 32 of Indian Constitution provides constitutional remedies for citizens of India in order to uphold their fundamental rights. They can reach to the Supreme Court for their fundamental rights through applying for writ petitions. The writ petitions are habeas corpus, quo warranto, mandamus, certiorari. Without these writ petitions, the fundamental rights are meaningless, because they give power to uphold the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights can be restricted or suspended. Yes, fundamental rights are justiciable, and they're suspended during war or during emergency situations. So especially when external aggression or war is happening, Article 20 and 21 are suspended. Earlier, fundamental rights are used to be 7. A right to property was also a fundamental right. Through the 44th Amendment Act, right to property was removed from fundamental rights. So these fundamental rights are not absolute, and these fundamental rights for any human being, not just citizens, non-citizens also. These are since they are very basic, as I mentioned before, these are applied to all living beings, being citizen or non-citizen.